My name is Avi Friedman. I'm professor of architecture at McGill University, where I teach for about 30 years. Montreal is a very interesting case because the height limit traditionally was governed by the height of the mountain. The mountain is 233 meters tall, and no building could exceed that height. And I believe that it was a good architectural decision because it created a cup that governed all the design. For many years, decades, the Notre Dame Basilica used to be the tallest building in Montreal. In the mid-1800s, the elevator was invented, and it of course changed the skyscape of many cities. The revolution came to Montreal as well, and just across from the Basilica, they built the 8-story building that had elevator, and this was the New York Life Insurance Building. In the 1920s and 30s, we started to see many tall buildings springing up. Change happened in Montreal when the Sun Life Building was constructed. And for many years, the Sun Life Building was the tallest building in the British Empire. There were many buildings that were built in Montreal in the 1960s that exceeded the height of 20 and 30 stories. We are standing in one of the tallest buildings in Montreal. Place Ville-Marie was built by the very famous developer, Zeckendorf, who came from New York, to build a very impressive project. Place Ville-Marie set the height for many of the tall buildings in Montreal that were 47 stories. And it was for a very long time since its construction an iconic building and forward-looking building that incorporate not only office towers, but also a mall and all kinds of other buildings with a train that passes right under it. In the past few years, we have seen a dramatic change in Montreal, and we introduced something novel, new, that was not around, and this is the very tall residential tower. A building that marked that change was the introduction of the Tour de la Canadienne, and right around it, on Rue-la-Novec, we see springing of many tall residential buildings. And this is again mark a change because there are many young people who would like to see themselves live in a residential tower and enjoy all the comfort and the amenities that downtown living provides. Now, I assume that we in Montreal underestimate the value of the land. It's still inexpensive to develop building here compared, say, to Calgary, Vancouver, and Toronto. Montreal is still a find for developers, and I believe that what we continue to see is more construction in the coming years, primarily in the residential area.